Can I interest you in some of the good white stuff? Premium quality. Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office. I was inspired a while back by bigclive.com. Boric Acid, yes. I'm going to talk to you about boric acid a little bit, but that's not really the reason I wanted to chat to you today. But yeah, I do a lot of running and boot camp type things, and sometimes your feet can suffer. And just this morning, it's pretty rare for me now to be honest, but this morning I felt this sort of uneasy feeling, and that's the feeling of itchiness between your toes. And I thought, oh, what? Not an athlete's foot. So I like to sort of nip these in the bud and just make sure my feet are kept in good condition. But it sneaks up on you, frankly. The weather gets warmer, you wear the same shoes. I mean, you can't avoid it, to be honest with you. You're always trying to be eaten by the environment. So this is boric acid, and it's a naturally occurring substance, or I think boron is, and it's extracted from boron. Never eat it, by the way. You can't ingest this internally. It's not good for you. But it's good for yeast infections and eye infections, athlete's foot, acne, insect bites, all sorts of things. By the way, if you're using it for eye infections, it's something like 1 teaspoon in 250 ml of water, so be a bit careful. Athlete's foot, I really just sprinkle a bit, rub a little bit on my toes and sprinkle a tiny bit in my socks. It's really cheap. You can get it on eBay for next to nothing. But what I wanted to show you is these. These are some sort of sample bag. These were sent to me, these sample jars, and they are for, I don't know, storing poop or whatever it is they get off you in hospitals. And I was going to decant some of this. So I've got a handy supply of that, because keeping it in a bag, it's going to get wet, it's going to go hard and clumpy. So I just was decanting some of this in these tubes, and the tubes seem to have some sort of paper in them, and I'll talk to you about that in a moment. Just to show you the texture of this stuff, by the way, it's really interesting. It's fine. It's like a ground up. Whoa, shit! See what happens? It's basically a salt, like a ground up salty powder. Salty powder. There, you see, you can dust it on everything. There you go. My hands are going to be slightly antibacterial now. But yeah, it comes with this paper. And I was like, okay, there's loads of these tubes, and they all have this paper. It was discovering what this paper is really amazed me. It's basically the same sort of paper that you've got in a sort of hospital. I don't know if you've ever been to a childbirth or if you've had open weeping wounds. But yeah, they put these on the bed, and it's basically like a nappy material. So it's got this sort of waterproof backing and then this kind of nice, comfy, foamy top. But I just sort of did an experiment with it just to see how much water it can take. And I'm gonna move this powder over here. I really don't want to waste it. Look, there's quite a good dose there. I know now it'll be mixed with charred back office board. And various back office fluff. Well, I think that's still good to go in your socks if you want it there. Look at that, that looks dodgy. Making a line of boric acid. So yeah, just to see how much water this can take, this stuff, it's amazing. So I just sort of squirted a drip in, and I was like, oh wow, look at that. That's fun, isn't it? But watch this. You can hear probably that it's considerable. I wish I measured it. I'm going to stop there for a sec. I'll just show you. I actually filled this, and I'm going to hold a line. It's there now, so it's basically half this bottle now. I'm going to put a bit more, shall I? I think it's got some sort of gel crystals in it, and it's a bit like baby's nappies, if you've seen those. That's almost 2/3 that bottle. I'm just going to turn it on its edge. Look, it's not dripping at all. That is insane. It's kind of puffing up. Should we keep going? I'm going to keep going. But you can even see on the actual piece of paper, it hasn't even got wet to the edges. So it's still actually managed to stop the water from soaking into its own edges right now. Insane. I want it to take this whole lot. That would be my ideal scenario. But if I oversaturate it, we're never going to know when was that saturation point. So I've got to keep testing it. Still dry. Very heavy now. Oh, I think it must be coming close. I can see when the water sort of seeping into it now, it's taking a bit longer, so we're going to have some standing surface water if we're not careful. Oh, there we go. There we go. We've exceeded its capacity. Just gonna shake this excess off, and then we'll revisit this. So I'm just squeezing the end off camera on a bit of tissue. Right. So look at that. Delicious. So I suspect though these would be really amazing. Imagine you've got a burn or a wound. You could just have that on there like a bandage, and that's going to be really wet and hydrating for ages. I like that. I'm going to save all these because I'm going to decant that bag. It's going to use up loads of these jars, but I bet this is really expensive if you wanted to buy this. If you wanted to buy this as a dressing, say for example for burns or something, I bet they charge you loads for this bit of paper. So if you know what this bit of paper is called, please let me know and send me a link. Look at that. So cool. I kind of want to bite it. Oh, let me try biting. Ah, you can bite it. Look at that bite mark. It's got a weird texture. Hang on. You can feel it's really satisfying actually. You can feel your teeth kind of going into it. It's got certainly a structure that's sort of yielding yet firm. Tastes sweet. It actually does taste sweet. I'm not going to eat this though, don't worry. I might go and plop this one in the bottom of a plant pot or something. Make some use of it. And that's that then. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for any comments you leave below. Hope that's been of some help to you. And remember, if you've got the old athlete's foot, go on eBay, buy some boric acid. Doesn't really cost anything. A little bit of a sprinkle. Do your research online though, make up your own mind. I'm not really responsible for any ill effects you might have, but really been using it for years, not a problem. Keeps your feet tip top. As ever, thanks for watching. Yeah, I can see to anyone walking in on me right now, this looks like a scene out of Breaking Bad. Come on, Jesse. That was actually, I think that was the least accurate Walter White impression ever made. But I think it still holds true that this does look very nefarious. I'm obviously part of the illicit underground athlete's foot movement to circumvent, no, that's not the word I want, anyway, to foil the big pharma industry of providing athlete's foot potions. The Mycota Empire. Oh yeah, if you are thinking of doing this, as just a sort of an aside, I'm just adding this to the end of the video because I forgot. Just be careful what you get in terms of its purity and strength and all those things. And don't use stuff that's designed for other purposes. So if you're buying a boric acid anti-cockroach solution, probably it might be exactly the same stuff, but it might not be. So just be a bit wary. It's like if you're making soap and you're using lye, you can use maybe drain cleaner because chemically it's the correct one, but you never know what else is in there. So you've got to be careful. Do your research first, guys. Do your research first. And although you're not supposed to be ingesting this, I think they do sell it as food grade. So perhaps it is used as a cleaner or preservative in the food industry. So you can probably get it in food grade. Be safe, guys. And if you can't be safe, be naughty. All of the powder is mine. Street value, 59 pence a bottle.